Welcome to Karen's place, the space she uses to innovate. She'll make sure you're left thinking, I could do the same thing. Karen says, just do it. There ain't nothing to it. Just do it.
Today we're diving into the world of Karen Eastland,
Okay.
a Tasmanian artist who is really kind of making waves with her blend of traditional art forms and really cutting-edge AI. Now, you're interested in how she's using AI in her creative process, and honestly, after looking through all this stuff,
Right.
her online journals, her project websites, even song descriptions,
Wow.
I am starting to get pretty excited myself.
Yeah.
It looks like Karen is working across a ton of different genres and even building entire fictional universes.
What I find so fascinating about Karen's work is that she's really tackling this interesting question.
Yeah.
Can AI actually help us create good art?
Right.
And, she doesn't shy away from technology at all. In fact, she seems to kind of embrace it.
Yeah.
But she also emphasizes this human touch.
Yeah.
And it's this balance that I think makes her such a compelling figure in the art world right now.
Absolutely. And you can really see that balance in how she approaches her work. For example, she uses ChatGPT to help with those initial drafts.
Which is something that, a lot of writers are experimenting with these days.
Oh, yeah.
For some, it can help overcome writer's block or generate new ideas.
Right.
And that frees them up to focus on, refining the story and the emotional core of their work.
And that makes sense for someone like Karen, who is incredibly prolific.
Right.
She's always working on a million things at once.
Yeah.
But it's not just about using AI to speed up the process for her.
Right.
She also incorporates tools like Sol, which acts like an AI editor,
Oh, wow.
providing feedback and suggestions for improvement.
So it's like having a second pair of eyes.
Yeah.
And in this case, a very analytical pair of eyes, helping to polish her work.
Right.
And what's really interesting is that she doesn't just accept those AI suggestions
Why?
blindly.
She doesn't.
She uses a third tool, Google Gems, to double-check the edits
Wow.
and make sure they align with her vision.
So she's still very much in control, making those final decisions about what works and what doesn't.
Exactly. She's the captain of the ship.
Yeah.
And the AI tools are her crew,
Yeah.
helping her navigate the creative process more efficiently and maybe even explore new territories she might not have discovered on her own.
I was particularly struck by her project of releasing a new Australian-themed Christmas song every single day in December 2024.
Oh, wow.
That's 25 songs in a month.
That's a massive undertaking.
Right.
I imagine the time crunch alone would be pretty daunting.
Yeah.
It's fascinating how AI can be used to overcome those logistical hurdles.
Yeah.
She used a program called Suno V4 to help with the composition, but it's clear from the song descriptions that each one is uniquely Karen, with her signature style and her heartfelt lyrics just shining through.
It's like having an AI bandmate,
Yeah,
not a ghostwriter.
yeah,
And she doesn't just limit her use of AI to writing and music.
right.
She's also experimenting with AI image generation tools like ImageFX, which she used to create visuals for her AI band, Wrecked and Ready.
Now that's something I'd love to see.
Right.
And it speaks to her willingness to push the boundaries of what's possible with these tools. She even mentioned being on the waitlist for Google Labs Video FX,
Wow.
which could open up a whole new dimension for her storytelling.
Speaking of storytelling,
Yeah.
we can't overlook these intricate fictional universes Karen has built.
Right.
She has several distinct worlds, each with its own set of rules and characters.
Uh-huh.
But what's really intriguing is that they all connect
Right.
in these subtle, almost hidden ways.
That interconnectedness creates a sense of depth and complexity. It really rewards fans who take the time to explore those connections and unravel the mysteries.
It makes me wonder
Yeah.
if this approach is actually a new form of storytelling
Right.
that's enabled by AI,
It could be.
a kind of literary multiverse
Yeah.
that might be too difficult to manage without these tools.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's like a giant puzzle waiting to be solved.
Right.
So let's break down these universes a bit,
Okay.
because each one has such a distinct flavor.
Yeah.
First, we have The Adventures of Millie and Sandra.
Which is a coming-of-age story set in an urban fantasy world.
Okay.
It follows twin sisters as they navigate their magical powers and the challenges of growing up.
Right.
I think what makes this series so captivating is that it spans 5 seasons.
Wow.
Allowing for deep character development and an epic scope.
Yeah.
And we're actually heading towards the grand finale in 2025.
Oh, wow.
With the Eye of Carly's Hope.
I can only imagine how much detail and planning goes into creating a world like that.
Yeah.
Especially over such a long period of time.
It must be a monumental task.
Yeah.
And then there's Pentag, which is a completely different kind of universe.
Right. Pentag is a series of Sin Eater novels, and they follow the Dulshaw, a group that's actually mentioned in her Keylast lore.
Oh, wow.
Which adds another layer of intrigue to her work.
It's amazing how she weaves these threads between her different universes.
Yes.
It's like she's creating a tapestry with each story adding a new color or a new texture to the overall design.
And she's not done yet. She's even planning an origin story.
Wow.
For the Pentag series.
Right.
Which will act as a prequel to the main novels. I always find those origin stories so fascinating.
Yeah.
Because they give you a deeper understanding of the characters and their motivations.
They provide that crucial backstory that can completely change your perspective on the present. It's like learning a secret about someone that makes you see them in a whole new light.
Okay, and then we have the world revolving around Josephine Marlin.
Okay.
This one is incredibly complex.
Right.
With Josephine connected to a symbiotic entity named Brain. Who actually lives inside her head.
It's a unique premise that raises all sorts of questions.
It does.
About identity, consciousness.
Right.
The nature of reality.
Yeah. I find myself wondering how much of Josephine's thoughts and actions are truly her own.
Yeah.
And how much is influenced by this other being.
And this universe actually encompasses 2 interconnected parts.
Okay.
The Thealtic verse and Fields of Elysian.
I'm starting to see a pattern here.
You are.
Karen seems to love building these intricate, interconnected worlds.
She does.
It's almost like she's creating a literary ecosystem with each story feeding into the next.
And to top it off,
yeah,
we have the Gerrymanders universe.
Okay.
This one takes the form of a digital interactive experience.
Oh, wow.
Set in the Reachville universe.
Okay.
And it's all about power struggles, manipulation, and some very intriguing supernatural elements.
It sounds like a real departure from her other work.
It does.
But I'm curious to see how she uses this interactive format to engage her audience.
Right.
It's a new frontier for storytelling, and Karen seems to be right at the forefront of it. I'm starting to see why you called her a pioneer. But let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
And talk about some of Karen's more recent work, where we can really see her artistic philosophy in action.
Absolutely. One piece that really caught my attention was her song, Forever Paths.
Okay.
Which she actually adapted from an earlier poem.
Oh, I love when artists revisit their older work.
Me too.
And breathe new life into it.
Yeah.
It shows a real commitment to growth and evolution.
Yeah.
What was it about Forever Paths that resonated with you?
I think it's the way she blends her personal experiences with these larger themes of love, loss, and the search for meaning. It feels both intimate and universal at the same time.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder if this adaptation process was influenced by her use of AI.
Oh, interesting.
Perhaps those tools helped her to see the poem in a new light.
Right.
To hear the music hidden within the words.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
And we can't forget her New Year's Eve song series, which is a perfect example of how she blends traditional songwriting with AI tools. Now we have descriptions for 3 of these songs.
All right.
Kiss Me at Midnight, Echoes at Midnight, and Countdown to Forever.
Okay.
Would you like to hear a bit about them?
Absolutely. I'm curious to see how she uses AI to explore different genres and moods within this series.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the first one, Kiss Me at Midnight, is described as a soulful jazz ballad.
Okay.
That captures the romance and allure of New Year's Eve. The description mentions velvety vocals, tender lyrics, and even the intimate whispers of a saxophone.
Wow.
It paints quite a picture, doesn't it?
It does. It's interesting how she can move from epic fantasy worlds to a classic jazz ballad with such ease. I'm curious to hear how she uses AI to create that smooth jazz sound.
Yeah.
Did she use it for arrangement or maybe even to generate some of the instrumental parts?
It's definitely possible. And then we have Echoes at Midnight, which takes a sharp turn into rock grunge metal territory.
Oh, wow.
The description talks about raw emotion, pounding drums and haunting guitars.
Yeah.
It sounds like a completely different vibe from Kiss Me at Midnight.
That kind of genre hopping is interesting.
Yeah.
Some might argue that it shows a lack of focus.
Right.
But I see it as a testament to her versatility as an artist.
Mm-hmm.
It suggests she's not afraid to experiment, to push her own boundaries.
Right.
And explore like different facets of her creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's a fair assessment?
I think so. And this willingness to experiment might be amplified by her access to AI tools.
Right.
Perhaps they give her the freedom to try new things without feeling limited by her own technical skills.
That's a great point. It's like those tools expand her creative palette,
Yeah.
allowing her to blend genres and sounds in ways that might not have been possible before.
And lastly, we have Countdown to Forever,
Okay.
which is described as a high-energy ballad
Okay.
that combines raw grunge intensity with heartfelt emotion. It sounds like a real anthem for ringing in the new year.
It does, and the description mentions starry skies and glittering fireworks,
Oh, wow.
which adds this visual element to the music.
Yeah.
It's like she's creating a whole sensory experience.
Mm-hmm.
And even though she's using AI for music production, these descriptions really emphasize the human element.
Right.
Love, loss, resilience, hope.
Yeah,
It seems those universal themes are still at the heart of her work,
absolutely.
regardless of the tools she uses.
It's a reminder that technology can enhance and amplify our creativity, but it's ultimately the human heart and the stories we tell
Right.
that connect with people on a deeper level.
It is.
You know, all this talk about AI and creativity makes me think about Karen's online journals.
Right.
They offer a really intimate look into her day-to-day creative life,
Yeah.
her process, and even her struggles.
I was particularly struck by her honesty in those journals.
Yeah.
She doesn't shy away from discussing the challenges of being an artist.
Yeah.
Things like writer's block,
Oh, yeah.
self-doubt,
Mm-hmm.
and the constant pressure to produce new work.
It's refreshing to see that kind of vulnerability
Yeah.
because it normalizes those struggles and reminds us that even successful artists
Right.
face these hurdles.
It also makes her accomplishments all the more impressive.
Yeah.
Knowing that she's overcome those obstacles to create such a diverse and expansive body of work.
Mm-hmm.
There was one entry where she mentioned a new AI tool
Oh, yeah.
called Notebook LM,
Okay.
which she was using for brainstorming and generating ideas.
Uh-huh.
She described it as a super-powered brainstorming partner.
Oh, yes. I remember that entry.
Yeah.
She seemed really excited about the possibilities of using Notebook LM to help her break through creative blocks and explore new ideas.
It's fascinating how rapidly these AI tools are evolving
It is.
and how artists like Karen are integrating them into their workflows, adapting and experimenting as they go along.
Yeah.
She's clearly not afraid to embrace new technologies.
And she's very thoughtful about how she uses them.
Yeah.
In another entry, she reflects on the importance of finding a balance between AI and traditional artistic practices.
Right.
It's not about choosing one over the other,
Yeah.
but rather about finding the right tool for the job, whether it's a pen and paper, a digital audio workstation, or a cutting-edge AI algorithm.
I find that approach really admirable.
Yeah.
It speaks to a deep respect for both the craft and the potential of technology. It's not about replacing human creativity,
Right.
but rather about augmenting it,
Yeah.
expanding the possibilities.
Right.
She also mentioned the challenges of navigating AI hallucinations,
Oh, yeah.
which are those moments when the AI generates something
Yeah.
completely unexpected or nonsensical.
That's right. She was talking about how those unexpected outputs can be frustrating,
Right.
but they can also lead to surprising breakthroughs.
Yeah.
It's like the AI is throwing you a curveball,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to figure out how to catch it and make it work for you.
It's a great metaphor.
Yeah.
And it highlights the importance of staying flexible and adaptable when working with AI.
Right.
Sometimes the best ideas come from the most unexpected places.
Yeah.
And sometimes those ideas require us to stretch our own thinking and challenge our assumptions about what's possible.
Absolutely. You know, reading through Karen's journals, I was also struck by how much she draws inspiration
Right.
from the natural world, particularly the landscapes of Tasmania.
Okay.
She talks about the rugged coastlines, the lush forests, the vast open skies, and how those environments influence her work.
There's a definite sense of place that permeates her art. Whether it's the magical realism of The Adventures of Millie and Sandra or the evocative soundscapes of her music.
Yeah.
It's like the land itself is speaking through her.
I wonder if that connection to nature is something that helps her to stay grounded amidst all this experimentation with technology.
That's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
It could be that the natural world provides a counterbalance to the digital world, a source of inspiration that reminds her of the beauty and wonder that exist outside of the screen.
And perhaps that's what allows her to use technology in such a human-centered way. She's not using it to escape reality, but rather to enhance it, to connect with people on a deeper level.
Yeah.
And to share her own unique perspective on the world.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah.
So as we delve deeper into Karen's creative universe, what's been standing out to you?
Yeah. What's been most surprising or thought-provoking?
I think what's surprised me most is the sheer breadth and depth of her work. She's not just a writer or a musician or a visual artist. She's all of those things. She moves between those different modes of expression with such fluidity.
It is amazing.
It's like she sees no boundaries between those disciplines.
Yeah.
Only opportunities to create and connect.
And that's something I've noticed too. She's not afraid to blur the lines, to experiment with different forms, and to create something truly unique and multifaceted.
It's like she's creating a new kind of art, one that's both deeply personal and expansively imaginative.
Yeah.
One that embraces both tradition and innovation.
Right.
And one that ultimately asks us to reconsider what's possible when we combine human ingenuity with the power of technology.
I think that's a perfect way to describe what makes Karen Eastland such a fascinating artist.
Yeah.
And as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I'm left feeling incredibly inspired by her vision and her willingness to push the boundaries of creative expression. It feels like we've only just scratched the surface of her creative universe, and there's still so much more to explore.
There is, and I think what makes her work so compelling is that she's not just creating for herself.
Right.
She's inviting us in
Yeah.
into her creative process, encouraging us to ask our own questions and explore our own possibilities.
She's almost like a guide leading us through this uncharted territory where art and technology intersect.
And she's not afraid to get her hands dirty, to experiment, to make mistakes.
Yeah.
And to learn along the way.
I think that's a really important point. It's that willingness to embrace the unknown, to step outside of our comfort zones that allows for true creative growth.
It's about letting go of the need for perfection and embracing the messiness of the creative process.
And Karen seems to embody that spirit wholeheartedly. She's constantly pushing boundaries, challenging conventions, and asking, what if?
And those what if questions are what drive innovation.
Right.
What spark new ideas and what ultimately lead to the creation of something truly unique and meaningful.
You know, as we're wrapping up this deep dive, I keep coming back to Karen's belief that human artists will always be relevant, even in the age of AI.
It's a belief that's rooted in a deep understanding of what it means to be human.
Right.
To feel, to experience, to connect.
She recognizes that AI can be a powerful tool, but it's the human heart,
Yeah.
the human voice, the human story that gives art its soul.
It's the vulnerability, the imperfection, the raw emotion that resonates with us on a deeper level.
And those are qualities that, at least for now, seem uniquely human.
I think Karen's work offers a glimpse into the future of creativity.
Yeah.
One where AI and human artistry coexist not in conflict, but in collaboration.
It's a future where technology enhances and amplifies our creative potential, allowing us to explore new possibilities and to express ourselves in ways we never thought possible.
And it's a future that's being shaped right now by artists like Karen, who are pushing the boundaries and paving the way for a new generation of creators.
So as we conclude our exploration of Karen Eastland's creative universe, I want to leave you with this final thought.
What can we learn from her approach to art and creativity?
How can we embrace technology without losing sight of the human element that makes art so powerful?
And how can we use our own unique voices and perspectives to shape the future of creative expression?
I believe that Karen's work offers a roadmap, a set of principles that can guide us as we navigate this exciting new landscape.
It's a roadmap that encourages experimentation, collaboration, and a deep respect for both human ingenuity and the transformative power of technology.
So go forth and create. Embrace the possibilities, push your own boundaries, and never stop exploring the vast and wondrous world of human imagination.
And remember, the future of creativity is in our hands.
Yeah.
Human and artificial alike.
Yeah. This has been The Deep Dive. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for stopping in. Karen will be here again next week to make new friends and share her weekend with you.